right, welcome back from the break, everybody. We're going to get into the last map. And San Francisco Shock, I mean, Dante has been doing fantastic work. He's been keeping him in this fight. Baby Bay has definitely been warming up a little bit. That was a stronger map for him in this series.
They're down 2 maps, but they've been so close on these maps too. It's inches here, a kill here or there, a pulse bomb stock that doesn't stick, noticing a Diva's above you. Anything would have changed those maps for them. So it's been a much closer contest than I think a lot of people were anticipating. But just how the league is, man. I don't even make predictions anymore. Like, I don't know.
Clearly, the other Divas need to figure out the stealth technology that Zumba is using to be able to hide a 2-ton mech up on a roof and nobody spots him.
It's a little bit cloaked there. We are entering our 4th map. It is going to be Watch Point Gibraltar. San Francisco needs to win this one, bring it back, force us to a Game 5. I always like Game 5s because we get to go back to control, of course.
Exactly.
Watch Point Gibraltar, though, we've seen Ana here, 76, a lot of Widow play. And you'd have to imagine that Widow play is going to continue, and it's also difficult to imagine what Widows can keep up with Fleta if he chooses to go Widow, because that man's been insane.
You could probably go, what, like the Pine route, maybe?
I mean, Dia did okay against him in the first match they ever did, but he doesn't even play Widow anymore. But there's a lot of good Widows in
there. Are some pretty good Widows.
That's the problem. I think Lynx or Fleta, I think, was one of the best battles.
That is still, yeah, Lynxer, man. Finished Terror, White Death. I mean, he is a beast.
Well, looks like defensively, coming out for the Seoul Dynasty, they want to run Fleta on a Soldier 76, which I hinted at a couple times since we've seen Gibraltar. It used to be a very, very good 76 map, but teams are opting more for the Widowmaker and the burst potential that Widow offers. But I think this is good. It's going to depend where they set up, because they're also going to run an Ana as well. That's going to be Toby. So generally, you want to set up in the back corner. You can take this fight up here where they're set up now. You can absolutely take this fight, then everyone can get back to where you would generally defend anyway. It's essentially free, except for the fact that the other team is going to build ults if you get full wiped off of it.
Right.
So this is okay. Some teams will just posture up here and poke as well to make sure that the other team isn't coming that route. They'll play a little bit of high ground. Alright.
I like it. Bit of the trash in spawn there, but now you got to back that up. San Francisco Shock, you got to back it up. Let's see it.
That was top notch. Some great spray play right
Sorry, not sorry, that's for sure. That's exactly what those guys are thinking. And while Dante, yeah, he's not messing around. He's swapped over to the Genji, and he's already found the kill on Miro.
Yeah, so this is going to be a full retreat for Seoul Dynasty. They're going to back all the way up as far as possible right now. Actually, they rotated through server room. It's also possible to hold in server, but if you do that, you generally want to do it with more tanks, not with your DPS up there. You can have a very beefy server room hold and make them fight you in there, but this is a little interesting style.
Miro's in a bit of a tight spot here, but somehow he wins the fight versus Dante. Dante, where's your backline? Where's your supports? Who's giving you heals? He's gone, but that will get the res off, and still not going to change anything. Right now, Seoul Dynasty are just crushing.
Yeah, running the Mercy here so that Baby Bay gets the boost that he needs, gets the resurrections he needs, but he died in an inopportune spot, unable to do so, and now Seoul firmly positioned where they want to be. Scatter, it's a really interesting setup on defense. Oftentimes you put someone in the far back left corner, that can be the Ana or the Soldier 76, but playing this kind of low ground here, and at some point, San Francisco has to go fight them in server room, and it's actually fighting in server room is a great counter to the Widow. There's almost no sight lines into there.
Miro's loving that too. He's got the orb, Jayhawk, so he's just like, yeah, I'll get topped up. That's fine, Baby Bay. Tickle me. Toby, however, has used the nano boost. Munchkin gonna get the stick on Dante as well. Clean kills coming in here for Seoul Dynasty. And Miro has been a force of his own right now. You know, the rest of his team, they've abandoned him. He doesn't mind. He doesn't care. He's still here to tase people.
His only job is to hang out up there. That is Miro's spot right now. They have to send people after him if they want to take it over. They need to send tanks with the DPS to take it over. And then maybe you can get Baby Bay set up there so he can fire into the server room. Problem is, he starts firing in there, they're just going to move a little bit left or right. It's really good anti-sniper positioning.
Yeah, you know, just come and fight them. You need to get in there, but then you got a Fleta, you got a Soldier. Well, Dante decides, yes, close quarters, I'll take that. The trance isn't enough. The damage was too much. Dante with 2 kills. Toby and Fleta out of it. Miro, however, has to move Baby Bay, but then the reflect onto Jayhawk. This is the turning point now for San Francisco Shock. They finally bided their time, waited for those AoE ults to get into play, and just wiped Seoul Dynasty out.
You're just fighting on the fringe of that transcendence. It's not where you want to be. You take one wrong step and you're out of the healing glow of the Omnic Monk himself. Still gonna try to come in here and fight. Might not be the best of ideas. Nomi is just gonna completely zone them out through this door.
An attack visor being used here by Fleta as well. Is he going to get anything out of it? Nomi eventually. He's not getting healed now. He's going to have to back off. He did have his jump pack, and Zumba is buying as much time as possible on this point. Should be able to get a remake as well. Zumba just barely gets back inside. And in the meantime, Miro continuing to tase.
Zumba's a magician, not only Hollywood there, he must be lubed up with Crisco or something. How he got out that door is insane. He simply flew right by, gave him a little shoulder shove body check into the corner, got himself onto the cart, dropped the self-destruct to zone it out. A miracle single-handed play there from Zumba.
So scratch that up to 2 now, because on Hollywood, we saw more magic from him as well. Now it's going to be Miro heading in here, nano boosted, ready to cleave. Baby Bay has found Toby, but Zumba is there to trade and take Dante down. And in the meantime, the point gets pushed and the cap is there. San Francisco, they're still alive. 3 minutes on the clock.
This is bad too, because now Seoul needs to retreat. They're gonna get picked apart as they try to get back. Miro actually turns it around, takes Nomi down. Now Seoul's going to be able to reset up. The good thing for Seoul is that they have a lot of ultimates to work with. Transcend, Primal Rage, and Pulse Bomb. The important thing is where are they going to set up Fleta. He's got Tactical Visor. Oftentimes you want him on top there. The tanks are just clearing the path, making sure that the way is clear, and then he will get up there. Munchkin plays with fire again, gets taken down.
Sleepy, yet again, man, he has not dropped off so far this series. The man is definitely having an impact with those kills, the volleys. Zumba in the front line again. Trance is going to get used here by Jaehong. And well, Dante has no blade, not just yet at least, but when he gets it at 25, 15%, he knows now there's no real way for Seoul to cancel it out. Fleta, however, could be the one to make the difference.
But on the ground level, being with his healers and tanks, not alone and isolated up top, tries to get something going, but completely denied on that Tactical Visor. Baby Bay continues to hunt Jaehong.
Never letting up. Always on Jaehong, it seems. And now Miro gonna go in with the nano boost, looking for that cleave DPS, and instead actually having to back off. That's not what you want, that's not what he wants to do. But he has to give ground. The focus fire just too much for him to handle. And San Francisco Shark marching on to the second point. I thought Munchkin would come up with the hero play there. We've seen it a couple times today from Tracers.
They just walk it in. Now Fleta has gone over to the Widowmaker for this last point. The stagger kills still continue to come for San Francisco. San Francisco's got a blade and a bomb to work with too. Sleepy will get to his Transcendence soon enough. The small battle to watch now is can they pressure Fleta enough? And I think they know this is coming. That's why Nomi is sitting up there with Dante. You double jump a Widow with your Genji and your Winston, that's it. Widow's dead. Now they're looking for the info. They found her.
There it is. They found her exactly. Nomi leaps right into it. Oh man, Fleta under significant pressure. Dante holding onto the blade, being patient. Trance is gone exactly. And well, no, Fleta gets out of harm's way. The blade. Dante's left wondering, who do I hack? And while he gets a kill on Munchkin, but he was definitely looking for a different target there.
Unable to get that first blade, then your dash is not going to come up again. You need that mobility of the kills, the snowball of the ult. They're going to come out here. Still another fight to go. Fleta's off the Widow on 76.
Looking for the close quarters fight, perhaps. Self-destruct is going to go in deep. Fleta getting poked here by Baby Bay on the Tracer, and while Baby Bay not quite secure on the target, he will come back here trying to mind his back line. Shield is going to cut him off, however. And while Baby Bay now needs to be a little bit careful. Yeah, the pack is going to be back here. He'll be able to heal back up again. And while they have been repulsed for now, Seoul Dynasty have pushed it. And the stagger kill on Baby Bay as well.
Yeah, Baby Bay unable to get out of there. Needed to triple blink out if he could. Maybe go a different path. Switch up here. Dante is going to go over to the Sombra. So looking for that EMP. That's kind of her main role right now in Overwatch. Going to hack some packs. They still have 2 supports, though. It's a question of where is the damage going to come from. You're putting a lot on Baby Bay's shoulders.
All right, well, great damage on the Fleta already. And there we go. Baby Bay, long range, will win that fight. Crucial DPS lost here for Seoul. And the hack as well, perhaps, onto Zumba. Not going to make life too easy for him. Nevix is still here to challenge the payload. And there we go. Jaehong decides to commit with the Trance. And the follow-up Munchkin still in the back line. Still finding kills.
ICP, Baby Bay goes for it, but he's completely denied. Jaehong falls in this fight, not a big deal. The next major fight's gonna happen, and Dante will hopefully have his EMP. So that's 73, that's just a couple more packs, but I think if Seoul is really smart, they stop even doing poke damage right now. So if you don't do poke damage, then you can't take a pack. It's impossible to do. The problem is Dante's going to do it himself. He's going to go back, force them to deal with him, and then translocate to his own pack.
Remaining.
Yep, there it is. Gets the heals, 5% off the EMP. Nomi with the primal as well, could definitely make use of that. And we've got self-destruct. It's a big wide open third point here, so self-destruct, maybe he can get it from just right. And now we go, Dante all the way in, looking for the EMP. Wondering if he's gonna get a good target here, a good cluster to go to work on. Zumba is getting chased back around the corner, and there it is, the EMP committed to the fight, but Zumba's still able to get the self-destruct off to zone them off the point. And now we go, never mind. Now we go into overtime, and yeah, Dante, that says it all, because he had just blinked onto the point, but he was a split second too late. His reaction there, he's definitely wondering, I thought I was there. I thought I was there to contend.
Sometimes you think you're on the cart, and the game disagrees with you, and you simply aren't. That's why you can't cut it that close. You have to just keep a body on there. Yeah.
The cart is on you. Be like, Hex, you're gonna have to quit stream it.
In Watchpoint Gibraltar, cart pushes you. So very close to finishing out the map, not quite enough. That is the face of frustration there. Dante doing his best for this team. It's a little bit interesting there with the EMP, because I thought as soon as that translocate came out, he was going to aggro translocate, right? Into the team, EMP everyone, but Seoul did a good job of playing around it. I mean, that's one of the things, like, of knowing that there's a Sombra on the field, they had everyone off, and the moment he saw that the Sombra was still just messing around, Zuma's just like, fine, I'll toss my self-destruct. I'm not going to be able to if you EMP, so I'm going to start this now. Now if you EMP, no one's around, and no one can really even hang out near the payload.
Yeah, not the high value Overwatch? I'm reading. I'm getting confused here. Overwatch comm status is disabled. I don't know. Can you guys hear us? Is this thing on? Yeah, I think it is. Okay.
Yeah. Unfortunately for everyone involved.
Wasn't the big self-destruct, and that is definitely frustrating. Dante's face said it all there. I thought he was on the point as well, so definitely a little bit a touch-and-go moment, but they still get two. They've made quite a bit of progress, and well, we have seen teams get shut down on the push. San Francisco Shock have shown that they can go toe-to-toe in the deeps here with Seoul, and so it's definitely not over yet. Seoul Dynasty one map away, however, from victory. San Francisco Shock, they need to lock this down and take it to map 5 for the win. So 5 seconds and let's go.
You see right there, Nomi died a little bit more often, but I think that's a symptom of the kind of style they're running, and it's because it's similar to the stage 1. They're running a Mercy, and they're committing the Mercy simply to Baby Bay. It's not Nomi's fault he's not getting healed. He's still got to play the same kind of style there. So now that they're not running the Mercy, maybe he'll get a little more healing from Ana.
Oh, he'll get a bullet too.
Yeah, that's also part of the deal there. Fleta in great position. San Francisco already pushed way far back. They're going to try to copy this strat. Go!
Oh! Yeah, that was cool.
It never feels good as a Tracer get a headshot, I'll tell you that right now. He blinks in there. Sometimes when you're that close, you make yourself a bigger target for those crosshairs. And that really hurts, as Dante's been so good for this team. He's pressured Jayhong so actually the winner in that engagement is Jayhong. Now Jayhong doesn't have to worry about Dante killing him.
And through all that chaos, Fleta is still able to spot the kill. The high value target. Baby Bay has removed Toby with the Helix rocket.
Both supports down. The moment that Dante came back, he hunted out Jayhong and killed him. I swear to God, Jayhong owes Dante money or something, and he's trying to collect. They will get this point rather easily, though. The spawn stagger is real, as Dak has left out no man's land, and he is killed rather easily.
Both of your supports as well. That's going to delay the challenge. Allows for Zuma to get up on that high ground. Toby in tow.
They've got Pulse Bomb. They're going to have Valkyrie here momentarily. Self-destruct can be so good on this point. Just drop it off on the shuttle. You don't even really have to launch it. You just sit up there and then poke it off. And now Fleta up here, of course. He's got everyone with him, just looking for sightlines.
Still going to find him as well. Biotic field down. Bit of the healing going. Bit of the flyby, the drop in, and nearly the kill there on Nomi, who barely survives. Fleta, however, all the way in the back, and now it's going to be Baby Bay. Tac Visor was committed. He was just chasing him off that point. They've got a sleeping Miro back there.
That's the alarm clock that you don't want to wake up to. It's just a pulse bomb right there on him. Wakes him up, sticks him, gone, and now San Francisco has stabilized here. This is a really important part of the map to stabilize on. Reason being, that big door shuts. No more coming through the big door. Now there's 4 small doors. Each tank's gonna take one. If you can get your DPS in the right position, they can lock down another door as well. To sort of come through here, you're gonna eat a lot of damage. You have to come through as a team behind your tanks. Munchkin down early to Sleepy.
Once again, Sleepy coming up with the big kills. Toby will be there with the res, but now we have Infrasight put into play. Baby Bay life might get a little bit more difficult for him because Fleta could go for the free fire. Nomi, however, will get the punish, but he gets traded in the process.
Baby Bay just getting all this poke. Both these tanks are going to die on him at the same time momentarily. It has to happen. You can't leave a soldier unchecked up here.
A lot of healing there. Yeah, okay, that's it. Zumba able to get back around the corner. Toby should be able to get a Valve off of this. And so we will have both support ults in play here for Seoul Dynasty. Same can be said for San Francisco Shock, though. Dak, only 5% off of his boost. So Nomi's going to be a happy monkey. He's going to be clapping his hands together, give him those tambourines.
Maybe. They might give it to Baby Bay in this situation. At 90% tactical visor, a nano visor can absolutely crush. It's really going to depend on where he is and if he's got people in his sights to be able to capitalize on it. Other than that, Nomi can use the survivability, stay alive, and poke a lot of people down.
There it is. Right in, and he took so much damage before he even got in there. Nomi obliterated, and the boost wasted. Tac Visor's out as well. A lot of ultimates getting thrown into this fight here for San Francisco Shock. Same can be said for Seoul Dynasty, but Munchkin and Jayhawk, they still have got the trance. Sleepy pulls the trance first as well.
Be able to kill Munchkin. A resurrection available though. Soul still at full fighting strength right now. Baby Bay looking for kills, but a huge pulse bomb ends the fight right then and there.
Let's just allow that to soak in for a second there. Munchkin, that was the flying pulse as well. Baby Bay, there was no running away from that one. Let's see who he gets the stick on. I'm pretty sure it was Baby Bay there. No, it wasn't. It was Sleepy. Ah, that's painful.
Well, Sleepy's taken down Munchkin a couple times, so that must have felt very good for the Tracer player to be able to stick him and deliver that present to the rest of his team. It started pretty poorly for San Francisco, just a waste of ultimates all across the board. They got no value out of the ultimate trio that they ended up using, and then the swing back just too much. They know Fleta's there though. They did send Nevix up there to check.
It's Fleta, man. You show him a pixel and he's gonna hit that shot. I thought first, well, yep, there you go. There you go. Dante, get out, Dante. And now Fleta, he's gonna be in the position that he was looking for here. This is the master spot. This is the throne.
Where you want to be. 76 can pressure this, but probably not going to be enough. There's also a mega pack right below Fleta. If he ever feels pressure, he can drop down and get it. Unless he gets hit with a Helix, no one's really going to deal with him up here. You can't send your tanks out here. You simply can't do it. Maybe Nomi can take a moment in his primal rage to get back there.
They have to fight him right now. They have to get in here, but Fleta and Zumba already doing work. Seoul Dynasty 3.3 meters away from the win here. They are up 2-1 in maps, and Fleta decides it's time to get into the fight. And there we go, the headshot on Sleepy. Snuffs him, sends him back to the shop for spare parts. And Seoul Dynasty, they win it 3-1 over the San Francisco Shock.
It's a brutal position to fight back from. That is checkmate Widow spot right there. Your tanks up front, pushing all the damage. There's only so much shielding when you're running that composition anyway. Defense Matrix doesn't last that long. Winston bubbles get popped, and then Fleta simply ices it down. Man, that guy is a monster. Shock, though, to their credit, even the 3-1 score doesn't tell the whole story of this match. Shock gave Seoul everything they could handle.
It was not the road on easy street there. Sun wasn't shining. It was a stormy day. Lightning was thundering, and well, yeah, Seoul, they definitely got shocked a couple times there. Dante in particular, Sleepy, both of them. Standout play. And Nomi with the aggression as well. San Francisco Shock, they've definitely made progress and things are looking up. For Seoul Dynasty, a key win. Time to hear what the desk has to say. Puckett, it's all yours.
Thank you so much, fellas. What a show there from Seoul Dynasty. We were a little bit worried coming into the half. It was all tied up one apiece, but we always know the more you watch Seoul, the more they're going to adapt, the more they're going to change up their play style, and they're going to walk away with the win. So let's talk a little bit about some of these moments, because Johnny, you mentioned this at the half. You said, if you're the Shock, you got to look out for these adaptations from Seoul. But they weren't the only team making up some switches here to their competition.
Yeah, I was actually quite surprised, because usually when we look at teams, they're scared of adapting and things like that. Like Gladiators in our previous matchup, they stuck to what they knew, and it didn't work out. But San Francisco Shock, they swapped up to the Sombra, which we saw in Hollywood, and that was a pleasant surprise to me because they were not comfortable sticking to their usual comp. They tried to change things up, surprise Seoul Dynasty a bit, and even though it didn't work out, this was a very welcome change, and it talks a lot about San Francisco Shock willing to perhaps leave their comfort zone in effort to like get an edge.
Two different people playing Sombra as well for San Francisco Shock as they attempted different parts of the map. So I like that they're adding in different things because so far San Francisco have only really been playing one play style.
Right.
So you really need to mix things up if you want to be able to, like, if you at the bottom of the table, you probably need a bit of a change.
You don't want to be the easiest to read. Well, I do want to follow up real quick. Hex said that he preferred seeing Dante, or excuse me, he preferred seeing Sleepy, one of the supports, switching over to that Sombra instead of putting Dante, your star tracer, on that role. What would you like to see from them moving forward if they do it again?
Oh, from them, it's such a difficult question. From them, I think I would prefer to see Sleepy play it.
Okay.
But some teams, like Seoul Dynasty, often have Fleda play on the Sombra, so they have this triple ultimates. They have the EMP, the Transcendence, the Sound Barrier. Works really well for them if they're playing defense.
The other story we wanted to follow up from the halftime show was that we thought Miro was playing a little bit weird. If you look at his statistics in this match, way less deaths, and we wondered, is he playing too passive? Johnny, what did we learn in the second half?
Well, we learned that maybe Miro isn't underperforming at all. Maybe he's just that good. I mean, maybe the 2016 Miro, which was so amazing and probably the best Winston in the world, maybe he's back because looking at the statistics sideshow,
It's
they're
unreal.
off the charts.
Miro had 13 deaths over the course of all 4 maps. If you add them all together, Nomi had 12 deaths in all of the latter 3 maps each. So it was 13 deaths at the end for Miro, 46 for Nomi.
Okay.
So a massive difference in terms of how much these guys were dying. That Miro was only averaging like 2 or 3 deaths every map.
And
So
still, like, the damage
crazy.
is not pretty poor either for Miro. He's just so good at knowing his limits. So maybe the Miro we've been missing is back, and maybe that's what will make Seoul Dynasty a real challenger for a top #1 table spot once again.
Miro played incredible, and I can't wait to go back and watch more of his games. Go back, catch all the VODs on OverwatchLeague.com, and you're going to want to focus on not Miro only, though. There's a lot of stars on this team, and our player of the match sponsored by Omen by HP. It's not the tank. It's the guy that speeds them up. Little Toby.
yes. We chose Toby here because his performance was fantastic throughout. And he wasn't just playing the man who speeds them up, as you were saying. He was also playing the woman that heals and shoots people and sleep darts and stuff. So Toby, I think, Toby had a great performance throughout this game. And I think other players on his team had some ups and downs. I personally still do think that Miro was a little too passive on Hanamura. Munchkin really fell off the map on Hanamura. But Toby had a great performance throughout. And he, even though we talk about Dak as being a great Lucio that we like to see in this meta, Toby's the OG. This guy was here before anybody else making Lucio happen.
He made Lucio cool.
Yeah, he outperformed Dak.
I mean, his healing was almost like 1.5 times the amount of Dak, and the sound barriers,
Wow.
he provided maybe roughly 25 more sound barriers throughout the series, and those 25 sound barriers, they make quite a big difference in the end. So
really low
Toby,
deaths as well.
Yes, exactly. So Toby, he is the king of the Lucios. He is the best Lucio in the league.
He is.
Fellas, I felt like tonight we saw a little bit stronger Shock. Where did they improve? Where can they go from here?
Well, Dante started popping off, and that's not something we've seen in the past. It's usually been the Baby Bay show, but maybe with more members of the San Francisco Shock stepping up to the plate, maybe they can come together as a team and actually put on some good performances.
Sideshow, Seoul is now 2-0 in Stage 2. What was their strongest asset tonight?
Tonight, I think the fact that they were able to unlock Munchkin as they went further forward throughout the game. He did have a very shaky Hanamura, but if they can get their DPS working at full strength throughout the whole of it, there's very few other DPS pairs that can match them.
Should we see Kuki in the future?
Oh, no, if Miro's playing like this, perhaps. Miro's having a hell of a performance tonight.
Keep him in the lineup, says Sideshow. That is going to do it for our matches today. So let's recap where we're at currently in Stage 2. Remember, we're on to our second set of 40 matches. Dallas, as well as Seoul, improving to 2-0 at the top of the leaderboard. We still get a chance to see Philadelphia, Houston playing more matches tomorrow. And we should remind everybody that we are keeping track of the overall standings. These are the numbers that really matter. At the end of all 4 stages, it's the top 6 that will be moving on to our playoffs. Currently, New York locks down the #1 spot, Seoul right behind them. And tomorrow, we're going to find out, will Houston be able to get their 9th win? It's a big battle at 3 p.m. as they take on the Boston Uprising. We open it up with Philadelphia and Florida Mayhem at 1 p.m. Fellas, you pumped for that, Johnny?
I'm pumped for EQO and Philadelphia Fusion. I love me some Philadelphia Fusion, so tune in early as well at 1 p.m. to watch EQO slice some and dice.
All right, well, big shout out to everyone who came out to the Blizzard Arena tonight. Remember, the Gladiators are doing a signing after the show. Buy your tickets, overwatchleague.com. If you don't get your ticket, don't worry. We'll see you on the internet tomorrow at 1 p.m. Pacific. Thanks for watching. We'll see you tomorrow.